why was he such a feared and revered bounty hunter even in the old original trilogy from like the 70s and 80s? Why did people gravitate toward him so much, just besides the fact that he looked cool and he had a rocket launcher attached to his back and a jetpack? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Whole Views, and today we sit down and talk about the Book of Boba Fett, episodes 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and get discussing. Before getting into the discussion, subscribe to the page. Help us to keep the channel growing. We've been doing great so far. Help us to continue to be great. And let's talk about the arrangement in which I watched the Book of Boba Fett. Normally, I watch the Disney Plus shows that I really enjoy, and I like that weekly schedule. I watch them week at a time. But due to scheduling constraints, I had to watch 1 and 2 back to back. And what I'll say is this: I think I'm very, very pleased with that setup, because the first episode was not exactly what I was expecting as a viewer. My thought was we would get the Book of Boba Fett, and it would be Boba Fett's story from where we left off in The Mandalorian and moving forward. But apparently we're getting a whole bunch of backstory, and I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of conflicted as to what I like more. Episode 1 did a really great job of making the backstory of Boba Fett kind of intriguing, showing the way that he fought and the way that he kind of earned the trust of these people that held him captive. Something that I really didn't expect to happen to Boba Fett. But episode 2 continued that kind of groundwork, but at the same time, the beginning part of episode 2 did a lot to kind of intrigue me to the modern day, or let's say present day, story of Boba Fett. And the reason why I say that is because in episode 1, you realize that this whole show is going to be, or at least the modern day version of the show, the present timeline, is going to be based on Boba Fett trying to take over Jabba's old territory. Now, the reason why I find that to be kind of boring is because it's like, oh, that's all you doing? You just taking over this guy's old base and like basically taking his place? That just don't seem like it's gonna make a whole bunch of interesting story. But then when you get to episode 2 and you get the presence of the twins, like the cousins of Jabba, and you have like the intrigue that's being created by other people inside this world of Tatooine, and they kind of like not respecting Boba Fett, and he has to kind of like earn his place. That creates a bit of intrigue, more than what I thought I would be concerned with in episode 1. Now, keeping in line with the, jumping back and forth between episodes, the backstory that was presented in episode 1, again, like I said, it creates a lot of intrigue and it makes me want to learn more. And by the time you get to episode 2, it's very clear that Boba Fett is going to learn, and these people are going to learn from him. And it's a good little exchange, and I like to see it. It created some really, really good action scenes, some nice hand-to-hand combat. The bar fight that Boba Fett got involved in, really cool stuff. It just shows off the badassery of Boba Fett. If you ever go back and watch any of my Mandalorian videos, one of the things I like to mention is how Boba Fett had this huge cult following and this big group of people that was so into his character, and he was really on screen for only a few minutes. So it did my heart well to see they kind of picked the story up right where it originally left off, with him being swallowed by that monster, and then climbing his way out of that, and then carrying on the story that we never really got. I'm saying all this and talking about this as not a super huge Star Wars fan. Like, I've seen all the movies and I've seen most of the shows. The animated stuff is kind of where I draw the line, as well as the comics and all the I guess non-canon novels and stuff. Like, I've never read any of those. I don't watch any of the animated stuff. I'm aware of it. I know the Bad Batch is out, but I didn't watch any of it. I know that Ahsoka had a huge role in the Clone Wars animated series, but I just don't have enough time to watch all those seasons of all those shows. So I'm coming to you from a position of kind of a casual Star Wars fan, but I do enjoy it, and I do think Boba Fett is good. Now, The Mandalorian is really the thing that kind of I latched onto, and just making similarities and comparisons between the two shows. One of the things that I like most about The Mandalorian, and I didn't expect to like this much, was the score of each episode as well as the theme music. And I want to say that theme, or that parallel exists here with Boba Fett. Like, I really like the theme song that plays after each episode, and as each episode is kind of like ramping up and getting started. So I do enjoy the theme music. They did well kind of keeping it going. I was very pleased. One noticeable difference between The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, the shows, are that you're getting a lot more Boba Fett's face. I don't know if that's to do with like actor contracts and things like that. And I imagine if we get another season of Mandalorian, you'll probably see a bit more Pedro Pascal's face. And I'm fine either way. It doesn't really matter too much to me. I'm just happy that we're getting some concrete evidence as to why Boba Fett has this huge following. Like, where does he get his fighting skills? Why was he such a feared and revered bounty hunter even in the old original trilogy from like the 70s and 80s? Why did people gravitate toward him so much, just besides the fact that he looked cool and he had a rocket launcher attached to his back and a jetpack? Like, I like that we're getting more Boba Fett and getting like some concrete evidence of his badassery. So I like the show. What do you think about the show? I think the show is very, very good. Paced very, very well. It kind of, I ain't gonna lie, at the end of episode 2, not knowing where they were going with the whole like journey into the mysterious and then him doing the little ceremonial dance, I didn't know where he was going with that, but I did like the pace of that episode 2. It started to lose me toward the end when they did all that stuff, but luckily that was the last few minutes, and we got to the end of the episode without dozing or anything like that. But I enjoyed it. I think it was good. I think it's paced well. I like that it's not just action, 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 that they're actually giving you some moments to let the characters breathe and be fleshed out. I like to get more from his right-hand man, the Asian lady. I would like to get more from her and know some more about where she come from outside of her history on The Mandalorian. Like, what made her just kind of the meeting between her and Boba Fett, because we know where she comes from. She was an assassin as well, but I want to know what made her and Boba like connect when he found her and kind of nursed her back to life, because I don't know how the cultures and stuff work, but I don't think that she owes the rest of her life in servitude to him, that something had to happen. So maybe we'll get some of that. That's the only little prediction I got to throw out there. I'm ready to get more episodes. I'm enjoying it. Again, kind of rambled a bit at the end, but let me know what you think about the show. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very good. Anyway, enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and please come back and check out more videos.